Good evening, everyone. This is Anand Sharma. I am the host for today's workshop. In today's session, we are delighted with the presence of Ms. Vedika Bhaya, a LinkedIn organic growth expert with over 61K individual followers, adept in content and social media marketing, is ready to share her growth hacks. She is also the founder of the Foursquare, dealing with expanding social media reach and marketing on various platforms. During the workshop, if anyone has queries, feel free to write them out in the chat box. Over to you, ma'am.
Great. Am I audible? Is everything clear from my end?
Yeah, it's all
Okay.
clear.
Okay, great. So before we start, just a few. Hello.
Yeah,
Can't. 1 second. Yeah. Let's just keep a few things in mind that whenever, like, if any of you have any questions, feel free to write it in the chat. And after I'm done with a particular, topic, I'll go through the comments. I'll go through the questions and I'll answer them right there and then. So just write the questions in the chat. Other than that, I think we're good. Okay. So I think I'm assuming all of you kind of have seen my LinkedIn profile and you know what
uh,
I would request all of you to please mute
Yeah.
your chat, your profiles as well. Yep. Okay, great. Yes. So I'm assuming that all of you kind of have seen my LinkedIn profile. So I'm not going to waste any more time, introducing myself. And right, let's get into it. Yep. Right. So basically, when I started my LinkedIn journey, I myself had taken a 70-minute LinkedIn webinar, which has actually led me to get the results that I have gotten currently. So those 70 minutes actually ended up changing my life and has changed the life of many other people as well. So ever since I started seeing results for myself on my profile, I started taking one-on-one lessons, webinars to teach other people the exact same method and blueprint that helped me to achieve the results that I have gotten. The main misconception that I have seen that people have is that they think that LinkedIn only helps people with jobs, right? Even when I was in college, I was told that typically, LinkedIn is a job searching site. So can everyone in the chat tell me that if you guys also think that LinkedIn is just used to search for jobs, or it is used to, for recruiters to find people who want jobs? Just write like a yes if you think that is just used for, mostly people use it for jobs. So mostly, I think everyone is writing yes for jobs. There are some no's, which is great. Yeah, so basically, I was also under this misconception that, LinkedIn pay only people come who want jobs. So let's bust this myth today. And I can tell you from my own very experience that I have helped many founders to actually grow their personal brand on LinkedIn, which has helped them in their startup and has helped them to get leads and sales, and also to find good recruits as well, of course, but to build their network. And as we all know, your network is your net worth, right? So obviously network is very important, getting good recruits, but mostly what is most important is that they're getting leads and sales from LinkedIn, which of course is today's topic, as you can see on the feed, which is building your LinkedIn as an entrepreneur, right? So how do you build your LinkedIn as an entrepreneur is what we'll be talking about. Before I start talking about this, let me just show you my results. So this is when I had started posting on LinkedIn. As you can see, I was very dead. This was last February, March, April. And then I started, started to become more active on LinkedIn. And this is how much my profile shot up just after like a few days of being active on LinkedIn, right? I started getting more reach, and cut to now, which is after a year. It's almost been a year now. And as you can see, I have almost now people who viewed my profile is around 21,000 now. So it has obviously been a very, it's been a very long process, but it is definitely worth it. So this is going to be your 70 minutes. You also have now this session will be your 70 minutes, hopefully, and it'll help you to also start your LinkedIn journey. Okay, before we start, before we properly start and I start telling you about LinkedIn, let me first set, let's just first talk about the what and the why of today's brainstorming session, and then we'll move to the how, right? So the 3 whats and whys are: what is entrepreneurship, which I think most of you know, but let's just talk about that. Why LinkedIn? Why should you be there on LinkedIn? And why entrepreneurs should focus on DS, which I will come to later. So what exactly is entrepreneurship? I'm going to give a very standard definition as per Howard Stevenson, who was the godfather of entrepreneurship studies at Harvard Business Studies. Entrepreneurship is the pursuit of opportunity beyond resources controlled. Okay. So the pursuit implies a singular, relentless focus. Consequently, entrepreneurs have a sense of urgency that is seldom seen in established companies, where an opportunity is a part of the portfolio and the resources are more readily available. Opportunity here implies an offering that is novel in one or more or 4 ways. The opportunities may be pioneering towards an innovative product, diversifying a new business model, creating a better or cheaper version of an existing product, or targeting an existing product to new sets of customers, right? And beyond resources control means that the resources constraints that are there. So this is basically what entrepreneurship is. Now, my question to you is, how many of you are planning to take up entrepreneurship after your studies, or are you planning to do higher studies? So people who are planning to take up entrepreneurship, write boom. People who are planning to do more and more studies, write zoom on the chat, in the chat box. I see a lot of people who are planning to start their entrepreneurship journey, which is great. I'm already an entrepreneur with a Euro startup. That's really good and very impressive. Great stuff. So I can see there are many budding entrepreneurs here. So this session will definitely help you out. Now that we've spoken about what exactly is entrepreneurship, let's talk about why LinkedIn, right? So you as an entrepreneur, why should you be there on LinkedIn? Let me just give you a few facts that are there about LinkedIn. LinkedIn has more than 660 million members, which are spread more than 200 countries. It's almost more than half of, it's almost the population of Europe. Now there are 660 million users. There are 3 million shares meaning like the posts, but there are 9 billion impressions. So can any of you tell me that even though there are 3 million shares, how are there 9 billion impressions on LinkedIn? Write it in the chat box. Why, how is it that there's such a huge difference between the number of people consuming the content and making the content? Why do you think this is happening? Anyone just give a try. It's unaware about proper use. Okay. Lack of ideas, more organic reach of LinkedIn. You guys are almost there, but most of them looking for opportunities, less are on the providing side. Yeah, you were very close. So basically, there are more people actually consuming content on LinkedIn and consuming the opportunities that are there, but there are only 3 million people who are actually providing the content, providing the opportunities. So the consumers are more and the providers are less. So this is exactly the right time to get on LinkedIn, because As you guys know that Instagram there is already a lot of overpopulation, right? Instagram, Facebook, they already have a lot of consumers, a lot of people who are consuming the content, and also a lot of people who are providing the content. But on LinkedIn, till now, there are more people that are actually consuming the content, but less people providing the content. So if you are one of the providers on LinkedIn, then you definitely will get more reach, and you definitely have the first mover advantage that is there that you'll get on LinkedIn. So that is the reason why this is the perfect time for you to start your LinkedIn journey. Do you guys agree with this? Write yes in the chat if you think that this is true. If you think that this makes sense. Great, amazing. The average number of LinkedIn connections that a CEO has is 930. So the reason why I have included this particular statistic is because CEOs and decision makers will not accept anyone and everyone's connection request. You need to have something that is going to be different, that so that they will accept your connection request on LinkedIn, right? There is someone who's scribbling on the screen. I would request you to just like remove it if possible. Okay, 92% of the Fortune 500 companies use LinkedIn, and there are 30 plus million companies on LinkedIn. India has the second highest number of users after USA. So why? Yeah. So why this is a good thing is that one sec. Yeah. India has second highest number of users after USA. The reason why this is a really good thing is that, think about it now, since there are so many Indians on LinkedIn, a lot of your target audience will be there on LinkedIn actually. So even though there are way more people on Instagram, LinkedIn still has a lot of people as well, especially in India. So that is why if your target audience is Indian, are Indians, so this is a really good piece of statistic for you. Okay, so can anyone of you tell me what is DS? Why am I saying focus on DS? I know this is a very vague term to use, so I'm just intrigued to see if you guys can actually, tell me what this full form is of DS. Just give a direct selling, close, pretty close, data structure. No, not that.
Vedika, can you share your screen again? Because I am not able to remove this.
You can't remove what?
I can't remove the lines which have been made by someone else. So can you please off and again share the screen?
Yep, I'll do that. Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, guys, any more direct sales? Okay, you guys are pretty close, so I'll just get into it. So DS basically means focus on digital selling. So I have usually seen that a lot of people talk about digital marketing. Like everyone just talks about how how digital marketing is just being overused everywhere. But what people are forgetting is that the thing which actually matters is sales, right? If your marketing is really good, amazing, but if you're not actually getting sales and you're not making profit out of it, it is as good as not doing anything, right? So without profit and sales, no activity would really make sense for you. So when you're embarking on this LinkedIn journey of yours, make sure that your ROTI is being met. ROTI is basically return on time investment. So for example, I'll just give you my in my LinkedIn journey, if I have been doing this for a year now, right? Making content on LinkedIn. But if I wasn't getting any leads, I wasn't getting any, I'll just take you here. So these are the messages that I get on LinkedIn, which is service inquiry, tips on growing, service inquiry. This again is a lead. If I'm not getting actual leads on LinkedIn, why will I even be there, right? It won't make sense for me to actually give my time and energy to this if I'm not getting the business from it, right? So you have to make sure that you're focusing on digital selling, which means that if you are getting into LinkedIn, Your goal either should be just getting good network out of it, or you're actually making some, profit out of this, or you're making some sales out of this, or you're getting customers. Forget money also. Even if you get customers on board, that is also, data is also very important. So again, you have to see that there's some tangible thing that you're getting out of LinkedIn. Otherwise, it won't really make sense for you. These are the challenges that I have seen that most people face, when they come on LinkedIn. Tell me if you are facing any of these challenges right now. Tell me in 1, 2, 3, 4, how many of these do you relate to? So someone said 2, LinkedIn is great for branding for professionals, but for a student, question mark. I'm still a student. How can I be a personal brand? I'm not sure of how to approach people on LinkedIn. And so I made an account on LinkedIn and update it regularly. Now what? Yeah. Great. So most people relate to at least question or the other, right? On this platform. Yeah. So today's agenda is going to be understanding your target audience and your objective of being there on LinkedIn. Simply because if you don't have an objective, why will you even be there on the platform, right? So understanding before coming onto any platform, if you don't know what your end goal is, it really won't make sense. So that is very important. Secondly, optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Third is the alumni strategy. And fourth, I'm going to reveal a secret tool which will help you on LinkedIn. So these are the 4 things that we'll be covering in today's agenda. So any questions till now, just before we start talking about this? If not, just write boom in the chat box. Okay, people, I know. Okay, great. So define your objective and find your target audience, right? So what do you want to achieve? Let's define our goals. There are usually 4 things that people come to LinkedIn for. Lead generation for your business, building a personal brand on LinkedIn, finding a job, or looking for investors. So these are primarily the 4 things that people come for on LinkedIn. Let's talk about personal branding. When you are looking to build your personal brand on LinkedIn, you have to ask yourself 2 questions. Who are you and who could benefit from you? To give you an example, I am a life coach. I help, which is the who, I'm the life coach, and I help businesses, people trying to be life coaches. So this is the who part of it. I am helping businesses and people who are trying to be life coaches. So when you are coming on LinkedIn, you also have to ask yourself this question. Let's take my example. Who am I? I'm a digital marketer. I am helping MSMEs and startups, which is the who could benefit from you to with my services, or people who are trying to get into digital marketing, right? So this should be your objective. These are my target audience, and this is why I am there for my personal branding. Does this make sense? I would recommend you guys to do this right now only, because we all know कि if we leave this for tomorrow, तो कभी नहीं आने वाला है. So just if you have a pen and paper right now, try to do this exercise as we're going about it right now. Okay. Now, when it comes to lead generation, if our objective is lead generation, who do you help? What do you help them achieve? And how do you do that? So I help businesses, which is the who. This can either be startups, MSMEs, whatever, whoever you're helping, just like a broad term. What do you help them achieve? I help them get more leads using, how do you do that? Social media marketing. This can be anything else. So these are the 3 questions you have to ask yourself if you're there for lead generation purposes. This will also help you to, write your bio, write your headline. So it'll just give you more clarity. So this is for the lead generation part. The third part is to find a job. So think of this as your like a matrimonial work profile, right? So what is your specialization? What are your dream companies? Who could get you a job interview offer? So what is your specialization is pretty self-explanatory. What are your dream companies? Make a list of those dream companies, and who could get you a job or interview offer. hiring managers, people in senior roles, people in similar roles. You guys must be knowing this. So these are the three main questions you need to ask yourself. Is this clear enough? Any questions regarding any three of the goals or the objectives that I have just stated? Just write no in the chat box. If there are no questions, then we can just move forward. Someone with 3, I don't know what 3 means. Okay, you didn't understand the third point, yeah? Okay.
Yes.
The third point is who could get you a job or an interview offer. Basically means that when you are applying, when you are trying to network with people who could help you with getting a job or interview offer, you either look for hiring managers, which is basically HR. This everyone knows. But don't stop there. Try to find people. For example, if you're looking to get into software developer ka role, try to find senior software developers on LinkedIn, because they themselves hire for junior roles. Okay, so people in senior roles and also people in similar roles. So if, for example, my dream company is EY, I'll look for senior software developers in EY. I'll also look for junior software developers in EY, because they can recommend you as well. You know, if you start networking with them and they like your, because they also get some incentive if they recommend good people, I think. So they'll also want to recommend you. So these are the 3 things that you should, these are 3 people you should keep in mind when you're looking to network for jobs or interviews. I hope I made myself clear. We'll just move on now. So how do we make the most on LinkedIn? Having an impressive profile for yourself, writing relevant content, and network and engage. So we'll be talking about LinkedIn profile optimization right now. I'll just go to my LinkedIn page once to give you guys proper explanation for this. Okay, so this is currently my LinkedIn profile. So what is the point of optimization and how does it help? So the reason why optimization would help is that, okay, so I have gone to my search appearances right now. If you guys go to your profile, you guys also will be able to see your search appearances. You can see that I am being found for digital marketing intern. I'm being found for founder and marketing expert. Okay, this keeps changing every week. So sometimes it's social media marketing specialist, sometimes it's content marketing specialist. So that keeps changing according to the LinkedIn algorithm. But as you can see there, what your searchers do, there are 5% founders also, finding me on LinkedIn. So the reason why we do this is because you want to be shown on the search result page. You want to be shown it's the ideal case, right? If a founder is searching for a LinkedIn organic growth specialist and my profile comes, then that's the ideal case for me, because he wants my services and I am providing that right now. Right. So we don't want okay, if I was actually, basically having LinkedIn ka services, I wouldn't want if a person comes and he's not being able to find me, right? Because I am providing those services and I want people to find me on LinkedIn. So similarly, this goes for a job ka role also. So you want to be found on LinkedIn, because of which it is very, very important for us to optimize our profile. I just showed this to you guys. This is just a meme that I saw, which is very true, that, people basically, even though they are unemployed, this is how they, try to basically talk about different things that they've done, and they write these things, which is kind of a, catfish move, but it is also very important because we want people to search for us, right? So 3 factors which help us optimize: searchable, clickable, and approachable. I'll explain each term. Searchable basically means that when I'm searching for someone, I go over here and I write, say, digital marketer. Okay. Sorry. So this is the first person that came on my profile. Yeah. So this is what searchability means, that if I'm searching for a digital marketing person, your profile is coming in the search result. How do we make our profile searchable? So first you'll be able to see that I have my location here is Mumbai, Maharashtra. Okay. So I'll find mostly people from Mumbai or Maharashtra. You'll see Mumbai, Pune, Mumbai. Sometimes you'll get this, but Pune, mostly it's going to be from the region that I am in. So you have to make sure that this is just a hack that you can do. I'm not very comfortable with it, but I've seen many people do it. Is that, for example, if you want to find people from USA, you want people from the US to come to you, you change your location to US so that your profile is shown to the people who are sitting in the US. So this is something that you can try. For example, you want a job in Bangalore, you change your location to Bangalore because you want those HRs to find you. So this is very important because location is the first thing that LinkedIn sees. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is the headline. Yahan pe he's written digital marketer, he's written SEO, SMO. So LinkedIn basically tries to figure out what you exactly do with the keywords that you are putting in. I don't know how many of you are aware of SEO, but think of it as an SEO service where you're putting your keywords, and LinkedIn is going to basically scrape it and try to understand that, okay, fine, if someone is searching for digital marketer, her profile is the most relevant one, and I'm going to show that. So again, over here, she's written digital marketer, freelance digital marketer. So again, this is the keyword that they have used, right? So you have to understand what is the right keyword to use. So this is the second thing that LinkedIn sees. And the third and the last thing that LinkedIn sees is shared connections. How many shared connections I have with that particular person. If I have any shared connection, not how many doesn't matter, but I need to have some sort of shared connections with that person. Over here, I have 5, over here, I have 36, 63. If I don't have any shared connections, it won't show on my, even if a person is a digital marketer, but he or she doesn't have any shared connections with me, their profile won't be shown to me. So that's the third thing that LinkedIn sees. So the first one is location, second one is your headline, and the third thing is your shared connections. Is this clear? Does anyone have any questions regarding this? Nope. Okay, great. So this is the searchability aspect of it. Next is the clickable. Okay, so once you put the headlines, also for the headlines, make sure that you're just putting relevant keywords for you. For my headline, I've put in LinkedIn organic growth, lead generator, content marketing strategy, social media marketing, freelancer. So, these are you just have to identify this. Another trick that you can do is that go to people with similar profiles of yours and see the kind of keywords they're using. So do a little bit of research and then figure out what is the exact right keyword for you to use. Okay. So that's how you can make who is shared connection, not followers. So LinkedIn has first connection, second connection, third connection. First connection basically means that I and say Abhishek are connected. Okay. Now say Garvit is Abhishek's connection. So Garvit becomes my second connection. Okay. So I at least need to have one shared connection with these people. So like mutuals, basically. That is what shared connections mean. Okay. Yeah. So now that, the searchable aspect is done, how do you make your profile clickable? Okay. So I went through all these profiles. Why will I click on Vandana? Why should I click on Sejal? You have to give them a certain kind of an incentive for them to click your profile, right? For the customer, whoever is finding you. So the first thing that you see is the profile picture. It needs to be very clear, because if I can't see the person's face only, you will also realize that, when you're actually looking for someone, you want to see how their face is. Somehow just, it just works like that. Does it, like, is it just me, or do you guys feel the same way, that your eyes tend to go to the profile picture of the person? And if that person doesn't have any profile picture, you probably will not click on it.
Yeah, right.
Yes. right? So that's why it's important to have a very clear profile picture, not a hazy one, just of your face. So when you're seeing mine, you can see that my face is there. You can see I'm smiling a little bit. You don't have to have a serious profile picture. I don't know why people do that. They have a very, straight face. They keep a very straight face on their profile picture. No, you want to look inviting. You want to look like you want to make the other person feel comfortable as well. So it's not like you have to wear a suit or a tie or anything like that. You can just wear a little semi-casual, semi-formal kind of an attire. And basically, yeah, you should smile and have a clear profile. So that's the first thing. The second thing that you have to keep in mind is that write something in the headline which will attract them to come to your profile. So for example, if you to give you an example, if you have anything that you want to talk about, say if you've given a TED talk, okay, so you should write that TED talk over there, like you've given like a TEDx speaker, because that is very important, even though that is not related to your keywords. But still, because a person will see, the first thing they'll see is TED talk, okay, then credibility is established. So that's why establishing credibility is also very important if you have it. So try to keep that as your headline as well. So after that, a person would click on your profile after seeing your profile picture and reading your headline, because that's the only thing you can really see on the search result, right? So let's just go to Vandana's profile. See, I clicked on Vandana's profile. Now the third aspect will come, ki approachable. Now, why will I text Vandana? Is there anything relevant on her profile that will make me text her? So I can see that there is no banner. Usually, having a nice banner really helps, because it firstly gives the person an idea about what you are doing, your services as well. So in my banner, I had mostly written that helping MSMEs and startups to get marketing and with leads. So it's very clear. If any MSME or a startup would come, they would know that, okay, fine, she's helping people, she's helping companies like us. So that there needs to be a little bit of clarity on the banner itself. Then would come your about section. So about section needs to be a little, you don't have to make it a copy paste of your CV, right? That is not what an about section is. CV you can add in your featured section if you want to. Your about section needs to give a little bit of an insight about who you are as a person as well, right? So it can't just be your CV. So to give you a little bit of context, I have written about, yeah, no, I will not promise you likes or followers. I will promise to give you leads, right? Because that is something that I believe in. So this is what I wrote in my first line. So that attracts people to come. Okay, fine, she's not just talking about followers, she's actually give us business. Okay, again, I wrote something else as well, what I believe in, and a little bit of my views. So you have to stand out from the crowd, right? You can't just say the same thing. So she's just written about experience in copywriting, product marketing. So if I would go to her profile, I would want her to tell me ki, what are the copywriting profiles you've worked with, something which gives a little bit of credibility. Otherwise it won't really make sense for me to reach out to her. Then comes your experience. If you have any experience, make sure to write about it, like she's written that, because that's great. What did you learn in that previous work, whatever previous work you've done, what have you learned from it, and what exactly what was your role in it, and how did you help that particular company? So that is also very important. Then your skills and endorsements are also a little important, because if a person comes to my profile and he sees that, okay, she's endorsed by 99 plus people for social media marketing, again, it builds credibility. Recommendations builds credibility. So that's the reason why you need to work on credibility as well, and also stand out from the crowd by writing your thought process as well. So that will make you more approachable. And also one other thing that I do is that I always put my email ID and my phone number here. In case I miss a message on LinkedIn, they have at least access to my email and my phone number if they are really interested in, working if they're really interested in taking my services. So that is what I do. So just to recap, searchability, clickability, and approachability. So searchability is not is under our control to an extent, because LinkedIn algorithm plays here a role here, because location is important, chat connectivity. That's why searchability is under our control to an extent, but clickable and approachable is totally under our control, and that is where we have to, really build on our profile. This is something which is very trivial, but most people miss it, is that having an all-star profile is very important. All-star profile, it's so easy to get it. You just have to fill in all these details, which is the headline, your bio, your profile picture, just the basic things. Usko fill karne se all-star profile aa jata hai. And this is a badge that you would get, that your profile is 27 times more likely to be found in the recruiter search now after getting it. Can anyone of you tell me that if you didn't have an all-star profile? Because mostly in the webinars that I take, a lot of people don't have it. And they're really missing out on a lot if you don't have this. You have? Okay, that's great. Great. So for the people who don't have it, now you know that you really need to have this. So please update your LinkedIn profile for this. Okay, so is the LinkedIn LinkedIn optimization bit clear? If any questions, you just let me know. I'll just answer it right now. Great. Okay. Next, what we'll be talking about is the alumni strategy that I had spoken about. Before I start talking about that, I want you guys to picture a scenario. Let's imagine that you are from Calcutta. And there is someone, and you suddenly see a person from India there. Okay, you see an Indian there. So you will feel a little, comfortable talking to him rather than a foreigner. So you start your conversation, and while you guys are talking, he said that he's also from Calcutta. So suddenly you feel more connected to him, that, oh, you're also from Calcutta. You start talking about Calcutta in general, right? Now, one step further, you guys are talking more and more, and he tells you that he's also from the same school as he is. He's also from the same school as you are. Suddenly, you guys instantly have a connection. You guys are talking about, say, the college canteen food. You guys are talking about the teachers there. You just start talking, and you have more conversation points, and you just feel more connected to that person. So this, I always feel that whenever, we always have a soft corner for people who are from either from our old school or from our old college, or, obviously our relatives. Tell me if this is just me. Does this happen with you as well? That, when you see someone from, you're from college, then you just have a connection, so rather than like compared to a stranger. Okay. It's also, it's really funny, but it's also seen that people of a particular community, they are more comfortable with doing business from that particular community as well. So this just happens, right? So you always look for a common ground, right? So similarly, if you look for a common ground, such as your school or college, where you have so many memories, it is bound that you're able to connect more with that person, right? So right. So that because of this, the probability of that person helping you out just increases more, right? Because they feel more connected with you. So that is where my next strategy comes in play, which is called the alumni strategy. So you guys are from IIT BHU, right? So I'm just going to go to the LinkedIn page of IIT BHU. Do you guys have a LinkedIn page?
Yeah, we have one.
Okay, I'll just search. What is it called? Is it this?
Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you go to this page, you'll be able to see this thing called alumni. Okay. So I'll just click on this. Now you will be able to see people that there are where they live. Matlab India mein there are people from Varanasi, there are people from United States. Start your, let's keep say 2018 and here say 2021. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll click say I want to find someone from New Delhi. I'm currently looking to apply to ENY in New Delhi. So I'm going to look for someone in New Delhi where they work. I'm going to try to find ENY here. How do I do it? Okay. Yes, I don't know if this is the spelling of. Yep. Okay, there are no people. I'll just remove this then. Let's just take something from here. Amazon, say, okay. So New Delhi, Amazon. What they do, engineering. So now I found 3 people who were IIT BHU students, and they are currently working in Amazon and are in New Delhi, right? So this right here gives you, now you have a common ground with them, right? You both are from IIT BHU. So this will help you to start a conversation with them and basically help you to get that common ground that you needed to break the ice. So I'm not saying that, this will definitely help you to get that job in Amazon. I'm just saying that the person helping you out will increase. The probability of that person helping you out will increase because you have that common ground with you as well. Does this make sense? Do you think this strategy would help you to, find the job that you want to on LinkedIn? Or just network in general, like it doesn't have to be a job. You can just, want to network with someone who's working in Amazon for your startup or for anything. So, you'll be able to find those people easily, which otherwise you wouldn't have been able to. Great. I think everyone found value in this. So this is something that I have also used, and it has really, helped me also. So you just have to put this. I think this is very easy for you to understand now that how this would work. And you can do this not only for IIT BHU, you can do this for any college, right? So you can go to IIT Kharagpur also and find the alumni from there as well. So this can be done for any college which has a page on LinkedIn. So, yeah, great. Okay. So this was basically the alumni strategy. Now to come to the secret tool that I've been talking about. Taking questions right now. Yes. How can we grow a company page as a brand when we're just beginners? So right now, I'm not talking about company pages at all. It's just about your personal brand. As you can see, when you go to my company page, Foursquare, there will hardly be any content that is out there. It's only I make content on my personal brand because it's easier for people to trust people rather than trust companies. If you will see that if a company sends me a request, or if a company tries to sell their product or service to me, you will probably not entertain them. But if the founder of that company comes to say, tell you about the product or service that they have, you will show some interest just because it's a human being, right? You connect to a person more than you would connect to a company. So that is why you have to build your personal brand on the personal page, not your company page at all. I always suggest not to focus too much on the company page. Do a little bit, but focus more on your personal brand. It is important to have premium account, not at all. I haven't bought it once also. So it's not important. It is obviously very helpful, but it's not it's not required to do it if you don't have the budget for it. In regards to social media marketing, content creation and platform algorithms are key for growth. However, we see cases where the platform, let's say LinkedIn, changes its algorithm. Yes. How do growth experts adapt to such changes? So yes, there are a lot of times where, LinkedIn, abhi only in 1 year, I think it must have changed its algorithm at least 3 to 4 times. And you start seeing, like, for example, right now, you'll see that polls get a lot of reach on LinkedIn from whatever I've noticed. The reason why I know that is because I consume a lot on LinkedIn, right? So I see a lot of the content that goes out and I see the response that people are giving to it. And you then try to, basically you will be able to analyze ki abhi currently what is being pushed more by the algorithm. So I would just suggest that you should keep consuming so that you can understand and analyze and then implement later. How will you help in startups? How I help startups is that I help the founders to build their personal brand on LinkedIn. So I handle their personal brand for them. How will you get the recording? You can ask whoever is the, I think Amit, you can ask him.
We'll share the recording with you through a Google Drive link or YouTube link.
Cool. Okay. I'll just share my screen again. Cool. Yeah. So the secret tool that is there, it's called Lusha. So Lusha is basically a Chrome extension which automatically scans the profile of the person that you're visiting and gives you the contact information of that person. So how this works is, I just loaded her page. You can see that there is an email ID here and there's a phone number here. So what Lusha basically did, it's a Chrome extension, so you can just download it from there. I'm not showing how to install it, but what basically happens is that they load the particular person's profile and they take out the email ID and the phone number of that person. So the reason why this is so helpful is because, as you know, there are many people that are there on LinkedIn, but you know that there are the people that actually check LinkedIn on a daily basis is very less, right? But emails is something that we always check. Phones are something that we always check. So we're actually missing out on a target customer just because he or she is not checking their LinkedIn profile, right? So you have to target people from everywhere that you can possibly. So that's why if, for example, you know that she is your target audience, or she is someone that you want to talk to, but you're not being able to get through to her, you can easily use this tool and email ID and phone number and either WhatsApp her or email her, whichever works. Now, the problem with this is that you only get 5 free credits for the entire month. Every month it renews. So 5 free credits for the entire month. But what you can do is that make, say, 5 accounts. So then you will get 25 credits. For if you are, if you are trying to find loopholes, this is one way that you can find it. And secondly, either you can pay for it. So it's a little expensive, but if it makes sense, if the ROI is there, and if the ROI is justified, you should definitely purchase this tool. So it's basically called Lusha, in case any one of you want to write it down. Any questions on Lusha? Does attending the different session on LinkedIn have any bearing on our reach? I didn't get this question. Can these strategies work for other job finding sites as well? I mean, I'm talking about LinkedIn right now. I don't know which sites you're talking about that this strategy can work. Okay, so this was the secret tool. Now, the fourth thing that I usually talk about, but I will not be able to cover this, but I just wanted to mention it, that content is very important when you are there on LinkedIn. You can do outreach, you can do whatever, but if you're not creating content, you will not be able to, get the results that I'm talking about. Simply because 80% of LinkedIn the people that are there are almost dead. Only 10% of them engage and only 2 to 3% of them create. And we have to be in this 2 to 3% that creates content on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you will not be able to leverage it to its fullest capabilities. Right? If someone asks me, ki, okay, Vedika, I don't want to do the other things, but what is the one thing that I need to do on LinkedIn? I would say create content, because if your content is strong, if your content is, moving people and helping people, you will definitely start getting the results very soon. To give you a idea, I started creating content on LinkedIn after like 4 or 5 posts. This was the results that were there. So again, it was dead. One good post, one post that did really well, and ever since then it's just been an uphill on LinkedIn. So that's why content is very important. I obviously take webinars and one-on-one sessions on LinkedIn, and I go very deep into it, and I give proper strategy. So in case any one of you are interested in that, you can DM me on LinkedIn itself, or you can take my email ID, which is there on LinkedIn. So you can do that, and I take one-on-one sessions to explain properly and how to go about everything. What are the points to be considered to increase our audience on LinkedIn? I mean, like I said, profile optimization. You have to make sure that you're creating content every day. Every day meaning 5 times a week at least. In the past 1 year, I have made content 6 times a week, and without fail. So consistency is very important. If you stop once, you will not get results. Also, the algorithm also supports consistency. So that is I just wanted to talk about content because it's very important, and this is because the time is permitting us, I won't be able to cover everything. But so it's time to bid goodbye, but I have one small thing that we should do, which is the quiz, and I think it'll be very fun. And at the end of it, I will give the 2 people who answer the right question, they'll get I have made a report on the reach out messages, that what kind of messages you should send people on LinkedIn. So I have made a report of that, and I share that those 2 people who answer this question correctly. Okay, so it says that film में सिर्फ 3 चीजों की वजह से चलती है: entertainment, entertainment, and entertainment. So tell me, what are the 3 things that will make your LinkedIn game great? Tell me the 3 things that are there. This is also a trick question. So if someone answered it very correctly, which is Shashwat S. So I think the one report will go to him. Amit, can you just take a note and just send it to me on WhatsApp, and I'll contact them and I'll give them the report. So yes, first one is Shashwat, very correctly guessed the right answer. Now, this is first to see if people are actually paying attention. What percentage of Fortune 500 companies are present on LinkedIn? Okay. Meg got it first. So Meg is the second. Is it 92? Yeah, it's 92. Sorry. So yeah, so Meg is the second winner, and the first one is
Shashwat. Yeah.
Shashwat. So these are the 2 people. Yes, thank you so much. Been a great audience. I really enjoyed. I hope this you guys learned something out of this.